It is time for the first summoning session of Book 8, and that means we're going in for Ratatoskr, and of course we can't leave without Rearmed Lucina as well. So those are my main two goals of tonight. I wouldn't mind getting several, but it's not the biggest deal overall. I'd probably just use her for fodder, to be honest. So let's go ahead and jump in. We're probably just going to do one spark here. I don't really think we're going to do two. I forgot what colors they are. Blue and green. Perfect. I don't really think we'll go to, maybe we'll go two later, but I kind of want to just save orbs because there's so much good stuff coming up. If you haven't yet, go check out my first impressions video where I kind of talk about that a little bit, but there's a lot of good banners coming up soon. So don't really want to spend too many orbs here, especially because we already know that the blue share is going to probably be Legendary Deirdre, Ratatoskr, and Brave Golbeg, which is really good. And then red should be Alencia, Veronica, and Brave Robin, which is absolutely insane. So definitely looking forward to that. Yes, I don't know why I'm tripping. I keep thinking not to summon on green. Green is giving me PTSD. Green's supposed to be the best color, but for me it's just been absolutely terrible. Oh my gosh, my luck in green's been so bad. As I say that, the game is are you complaining? Here you go. That's an amazing pull for the first circle. The IV's not great, but that's fine. It's a rearm, so we'll probably end up getting more copies of her later, but that's already a really good start. So we'll back out here and go back in. Oh my gosh, amazing. But yeah, overall, if you want to check out my thoughts on the banner, I do think this is a pretty solid banner. Obviously, getting mythic merges for cheaper, essentially, and having not to color share is really nice, and also the fact that you have a really good rearmed hero here, possibly the best arcane weapon in the game as well. So if you have a good speedy axe that you want to use, this is definitely a weapon you're gonna be you should be looking at. Now besides that, I don't know, I've been just kind of enjoying this book because of the memes already. I can't remember who it was, sorry for forgetting, but someone asked me do you think book 8 will be a good story, or do you think it'll be a meme factory? I was I really hope it's a good story, but it seems to already be a meme factory. I put up a poll talking about how people feel about Ratatoskr. Oh my god. I just need to keep talking. This is working so well. I should do this more often. Oh my god, we actually got our copy of her already. Holy crap. And we'll get a free copy. Res isn't really what you want, but who cares? That's a free merge. And we get at least a neutral version from for free, so it's already +1, so that's already really good. Yeah, I put up a poll about how do you feel about her sprite? Do you think it's the worst sprite in the game? Does she look like a Pokemon or a Neopet and stuff, right? I was kind of just memeing around a little bit. And I found out that a lot of people really like her sprite already. People are really into this unit. They think she's really adorable. Personally, I don't really feel the same way, but I'm also known for not liking cute things, so, it's not really outside of my personality to not really enjoy that so much. Personally, when it comes to Beast, I really like the Emblem Asker. Oh my. Jeez, I don't even. Wow. Oh my god, good IV. DTM is gonna be jealous when he watches this video. Holy crap. What was I even saying? Oh yeah, I like Emblem Asker's sprites more. I like how they just look really badass in my opinion, right? And so I like that kind of beast. And I would like more of that, but I guess they're going more of a, I don't know, an avatar form beast this time around, it seems like. Especially considering that in the cinematic, Ratatoskr's tail and ears disappear at one point. I think that's what they're going to be going with. I don't know if that's going to be the case for all of them. Personally, I would like if the other ones had more actual beast forms, but we'll have to wait and see. The ones I'm really interested in are the two we don't have their names for yet, the one that looks like a buck, and the one that looks like maybe she's a cow. I'm not really sure what she is. What did Rocket Gal call him? Rocket Gal called him Chad Thundercock, which is the best name ever. I couldn't breathe when I was watching that video. I was laughing so hard. But yeah, either way, I don't know what his name will be, but he is really cool looking. So hopefully we get to see him sooner than later. And hopefully he's not a dumb villain. If he's gonna be a villain, that's fine, but make him an interesting villain. Make him I think Emblem was pretty interesting. And then obviously like Lif and Throsir were really interesting as well. So something along that would be really nice. And not like a Surtur. That would be really, really bad. I think Surtur is like one of the worst written builds we've gotten. But yeah, so overall, I'm pretty happy with the book so far. Obviously, why did I pull red? Obviously, we haven't really seen much yet. I haven't even played the story yet, so I'll have to jump in and see how that kind of goes and see if it's any different than our past space stories or if it's more of the same. But oh my god. Oh god. What is going on? Holy crap. Wow. This is a really, really, really good summoning session so far. Holy crap. It's like my luck's finally coming back. Because, okay, so if you didn't see my Heather summoning session, it went bad, but then I did another like 600 orbs after that summoning session, and it went worse. So I had really bad luck there. And then on the legendary banner, no, mythic banner with Kvasir and Golveg, it went good, kind of, but I didn't get the 5 stars I actually wanted. I got like a lot of like other 5 stars. And then I spent more orbs on that banner, and all I wanted was Sather merges. I needed 2 Sather merges, and I needed 1 Kvasir. That was it. And I didn't get any of them in 600 orbs. So my luck has been really bad lately. So it's kind of crazy to see it turn around this hard here. We're not even halfway to the spark yet, and we're already like stacking 5 stars. So this feels really, really good. Oh gosh, wow. Okay, let's just oh my. I can't say anything. I'm like, I've tried to start answering questions like 3 times now, and every time I go to answer it, another 5-star pops up. Wow. Oh my god. Wow. Holy crap. Oh. Is this what it feels like to be good at summoning? I wouldn't really know. Wow. That's jeez. People are gonna be so mad at me. Guys, it's IS is just apologizing for what they've done to me lately. Well, really what they've done to my wallet more than anything, to be honest. But let's move on a little bit. Let's try to get some questions in. Hopefully we can get a couple done. This first question is gonna be from Gray 287. With the recent apparitions of status canceling skills such as Ploy and Schism, which effect would you like to see get cancelled by another, and how would you like to see that being implemented in the game? I'd personally love to see some more counter to no follow-up so that my save tanks could work again. Okay, so this is a pretty interesting question, and I'd love to hear what people have to think about this as well. Personally, I love talking about game design, so this is like right up my alley. The thing is, I really, really don't like this type of game design. I call it circular game design. It's not, I don't know if it has an official name or not, but essentially what it is like an effect gets made, the effect is strong, so they put out a direct counter to that effect, and then now they're in a situation where the effect really isn't usable anymore because there's a direct counter to it. So now they put out a band-aid fix that then kind of pulls back the counter a little bit, right? And a great example of this is like Fatal Smoke with Deep Wounds, right? Fatal Smoke comes out and double fade, that's a little weird. Fatal Smoke comes out and it hard counters healing because it not only activates after combat, but it also activates during combat. And so what happened was that healing just became very, very difficult to use because of how common Fatal Smoke was at the moment, because Duelith and Legendary Sigurd were very, very popular. And so what happened was that they kind of like went too far, and they're like, okay, we need to like pull this back. So they made a counter for healing, and then it was too strong. So then what they did essentially is they started introducing effects that like halved the effect of Deep Wounds. So now Deep Wounds wasn't as effective. We've seen this on like Brave Claude, Duo Alphonse, I believe, and also Special Fighter 4. And I think this is just really, really poor and bad game design. This is like what happens when you don't plan things out correctly, and when you're just kind of not good at designing effects, in my opinion. When you're designing effects, they should be foundational effects that add to the game, and you shouldn't make effects that directly counter those effects. Instead, you should make effects that are strong against those effects, right? It's very different. I'm gonna give an example of this. So let's say Legendary Robin with Grand Strategy, right? That's a unity effect, and it plays off debuffs. So what they did was they introduced Ploy, which just turns off Grand Strategy. That's very boring and stupid. What they actually already did, and which was much better in my opinion, was like sabotage effects and like penalty doubler, right? What this does is it doesn't remove the effectiveness of grand strategy, but it acts as a way to punish people who are over relying on grand strategy, because you get to play off those debuffs. And this is also the case with something like dominance, right? Dominance does true damage based off of debuffs, and so by putting dominance more into the meta, you make it so that when people are using grand strategy, it's more of a risk, because they will be taking that true damage based off those penalties. And this is a much better game design in my opinion, because it doesn't directly counter what the units before them did, but it does offer counterplay to those effects, right? And I think this is just better. I think that you should always try to design things in a way where the effect itself doesn't get destroyed, but instead there are other effects that can be used effectively against them. And this is something that Intelligent Systems does not do a very good job at, in my opinion. We've just seen this over and over again, where they introduce effect, then they counter the effect, and then they do something else, right? Like they always introduce a problem and then they give you a band-aid solution. And so for me, I think that they just really need to like not do that. Another really good example of this is Elamine, right? Elamine comes out with False Start. False Start's really strong, and so instead of like adding a way to get around False Starts, or like to make False Start less effective, or like, you know, stuff like that, they just put in Freyr, who just directly counters False Start, which then makes Elamine much less valuable. And so I think they really need to learn to stop doing that, because it makes it so that people don't want to invest into things, right? The thing is, even if, let's say, they put a lot more foe penalty doubler or like dominance into the meta to counter Legendary Robin, it doesn't make Legendary Robin necessarily worse, it just makes it worse in the current meta. And so what that means is that in the future, if foe penalty doubler or dominance start to fall out of the meta, then what they can do is then Robin gets value again, right? And it makes it much better, because it makes it so that the meta is constantly adapting to what is like the strategy that is being used the most, right? Like literally what meta means. So yeah, overall, I talked a long time about this. Probably people are probably telling me to shut up, but like it's just very poor game design. And so I really don't want to see any more of these status canceling skills. I think they're just stupid. I think that they just need to learn how to design skills better. And so I really don't want to see no follow-up being countered, right? I don't want to see an effect that turns off no follow-up. What I want to see is new conditions for doubling. And this is something I talked about with Diamant when Diamant came out, was that he had a really cool effect where he can make it so that you had to have 25 speed to double him. And so what you're doing here is you're not countering no follow-up, right? What you're doing is you're creating a whole new alternative, a whole new requirement to double, which then gives a whole new set of design space to create cool effects around that. And so I think that's what they should be exploring. They shouldn't be exploring a way to turn off no follow-up. What they should be exploring is ways to create new conditions to double. I think that would be really interesting and a really cool, like, unique way to create heroes. Instead of just getting, you know, anti-no follow-up support unit, and then, you know, after that they're like, oh, this is too strong. Let's put in the anti-no follow-up unit. So, yeah, hopefully that answered the question, and I didn't like put everyone to sleep. I get really excited when it comes to game design, so I kind of talk about it for like probably hours. We're getting really close to Spark, and I've gotten one question done, so let's at least get one more in here. This is going to be from Jedediah McCain, and they want to know, I remember you were saying you were a writer some time ago in the summer. Yes, did do. That's not Lucina, but I do love Dedue. He is an amazing character, and he does have good fodder here. He has a near save. Yes, AD near save, and stance, so I'll take that for sure. Back out here. So yeah, saying you're a writer some time ago. What books would you say are your favorite? You can include manga and comic books. I won't judge. Thanks. So when it comes to books, just books itself, my favorite book series is A Song of Ice and Fire, most commonly known as Game of Thrones by George R.R. Martin. What just happened? What just happened? What just happened? Okay, we're gonna have to stop for a second. I know that people are probably like, what? Sorry, I'm really sorry. I'll answer your question, I promise. But like, this brings up a whole side tangent of, I am convinced that summoning does not work the way it says it does in the game. I am convinced that summoning uses like batches of heroes. So essentially the way I think it works is like when you log in, it pulls up a set of heroes, and those are the heroes you pull a majority of. Because there's the chances of me getting 2 to-dos back to back is like absolutely minuscule. And this isn't the first time this has happened, right? And it's not the first time this has happened to me. It's not the first time it happened to other people. This happens all the time. I see it literally all the time. I watch summoning sessions way too much while I'm working, and this happens all the time. And a lot of times I will pull the same like off focus units as other people pulling in videos at the same time they were pulling. So I definitely think there's something going on here. I don't know how I'm gonna get to the bottom of it, but I'm going to. And when I do, I'm gonna like write IS a very angry message or something like that. I don't know what I'll do yet. I'll figure it out. But yeah, that's not a coincidence. There's something going on there. Anyway, back to the question. So my favorite book series is A Song of Ice and Fire, Game of Thrones, and unfortunately, like the show was really good for like I'd say 4 seasons. They did a really good adaptation of the books, but then after that, like obviously I think everyone knows Game of Thrones kind of just took a nosedive, and by the last season it was like pretty trash. The books, on the other hand, are just amazing. Like they're some of the best books I've ever written or ever read, right? Like they're just so good. The characters are so well developed, and they feel so human. They're very complex. Not really like they're much more complex than in the show. Also, they like the world building is like top tier. Some of the best world building in any fiction I've ever seen. And like there's so much detail put into the world where like you can literally read the book like 4 times over and notice something new every time. So like I just love that book series. I've read it multiple times. I've read all the history books. I've read everything they put out pretty much, and I've watched like hundreds of hours of YouTube just about theory crafting for that book series. So that's definitely my favorite book series by far. Okay, so we're at the Spark. Okay, so I just checked, and we have 3 Lucinas and 2 Ratatoskrs and 2 Dedus, which is nuts. So we're gonna go for Ratatoskr here, and then later on, if I feel like it, maybe I'll Spark again and get another Lucina. I think my plan is, because I got way more Lucinas than I imagined, I was hoping for 1. Maybe I will use her as a Flared Sparrow factory. That might be what we go. Very nice. So we already have like a +3 Ratatoskr with the free version, which is really good start. If I ended up going to +10er, which I don't know if I do, but very solid start. Okay, that's going to be the summoning session for tonight. Oh my god, this went absolutely nuts. This was like a crazy summoning session. I did not expect any of this. I'm really sorry if I didn't answer any of your questions. I had like 10 planned, but like, you know, when the gacha giveth, you just gotta take it because it doesn't give very often. Either way, I'd love to hear from you. How did your summoning session go? Did you have like amazing luck like I did? Were you going for Lucina or Ratatoskr? Or maybe going for Severa, because Severa is actually really good too. Either way, I'd love to hear about, so make sure to drop a comment down below. And as always, I'd like to thank all my members for their constant support. This has been Oblivion, and I'll catch you all later with more furry Emblem heroes.